Okay, so this is a topic about you'll find yourself in the midst of the same people going through the same pains that you have experienced. Now, there's individuals that have been growing up parentless, um, abandoned, abused, street drama, dealing with certain situations that they haven't been able to, or have been able, or it's still internal. That majority of us haven't overcame. Um, I find it quite. It's like a understanding that I really came across, and I consider this to be really true. Um, I found myself around a bunch of people going through the same thing or went through the same thing that I have experienced, and it's crazy because you know what? These experiences doesn't discriminate. It's for no gender, nothing. Every individual I've came across is still dealing with certain situations, and they can be old as hell. Um, there's an individual that lost her mother a long time ago when they was young, um, and the father. I'm not sure if the father passed, but the father's not around at all for whatever personal reason. And this individual had been growing up reckless. Now, this individual has okay upbringing because um, they have things to maintain through life. Let's put it that way. Dealing with alcoholism, drugs, uh, it seems like depression you can actually see and notice, which is a lot of things everybody deal with. But when you constantly dealing with that since you were young, man, that is a major problem. And sometimes it can lead to you stealing or lying, making up stories and stuff, shit like that. And, um, or you end up, majority of people end up as a couple with the same problems. And then at that, they don't realize that they putting that same stuff into their children. And then, the kids grow up with all kinds of psychological problems or, et cetera, et cetera. Now, no matter how much you try to run from it, because there's a lot of people that try to run from their trauma or don't want to deal with certain things that they know that's bothering them. Okay, sometimes it is good to talk about it to other people because if you don't, it's going to build up and you're going to get angry. Like I said before, you can easily become one of those people from the street where you're gonna do something that make your life go fully down the hill because you're still dealing with childhood problems or still dealing with things you haven't just really maintained. Well, who can maintain in this place? Think about that. Everybody dealing with something. The damn society itself is sick, so you think people ain't gonna be? Like I said before, you got people that's they're so professional, but they can't even deal with their own people around them. Like I said, you're going to keep experiencing or being around people with the same problems. No matter how much you try to run from it. Like I said, some people don't end up listening to other people for no reason. Sometimes it's the Most High putting you in a position for you to listen to that person for a reason because you can be dealing with something every single day. it leads to, like, example on TV the other day, the family, man takes out his whole family. What the hell makes you do that? Besides either possession, or sometimes there's things on the earth, that elements that's creating people to turn that way. Or it's actual trauma from childhood. Okay, people have been abused, beaten on and shit. Sibling fights that goes on in the house. People just can't stand each other and shit. That grows on. I don't care how old you are, how wealthy you are. You think you are. You think you're okay because you're wealthy. Then you still got a lot to learn. I tell you that. But yeah, me personally, like I said, I find myself in the midst of a lot of things, and I'm like, damn, I can't believe. Then you hear people's stories later. Like, you start counting, like, damn, 1, 2, 3, all the way to like 8 people that's surrounding, especially your neighborhood or whatever. Damn, they all went through the same shit. Then that's when you like, yo, now I see why this person acting that way, or why this person is in this position. Sometimes it's for that reason, but you're like, damn, wow. So I'm not alone when I'm dealing with certain things like this. You're like, damn. So we are all in a circle together for a reason. Then sometimes it's to lead by example. It can be the smallest thing that you can be leading an example in, and then the person that went through certain things that you went through, they're like, damn, I'm watching them and I'm seeing how they change, or how they bypassing things. Maybe I should do that with my life. Maybe I should. Like I said, you would never know. Not even by telling somebody directly, but this person listening to somebody else and like, yo, damn, I got multiple routes that I can go. I don't have to choose this way. It's like I said, I used to be a teenager that constantly drank and smoke at the same time. And I was like, well, I shared my stuff, but I was the type of person, I would just go to outside and, certain destinations by myself. I hung around people like that, a lot of people, but I was always satisfied by dealing with myself. But in reality, that's not good for anybody, because you end up becoming that type of individual later on, which it is unhealthy. Because it's like you're trying to protect yourself from enemies. You know what I'm saying? So, never sit here and think that you are dealing with things by yourself. Okay? Because God put people in certain positions for a reason, and around people for a reason. As an example, too, recently, somebody around here passed out. And if the guy that was homebound, okay, he can walk and this and that, but his body is shut down if he get up and he walk around. If he wasn't around to call, you understand, 911 for the girl that passed outside as she getting out of her car, nobody would never found her, because she lived, they live in a rural place, a place where, so things happen for a reason, for you to be around certain kinds of people. But if you keep, I can't say, you can't tell nobody to, get over certain things and this and that. That is not wise, dude. You can't tell nobody not to get over nothing. Especially if you haven't experienced it yourself. But you will always find yourself close to the same kind of people that, things you experience yourself. Now you can't run from it. You can sit here and say that you're running from it, but it won't happen. Because you won't always come across these same type of people. You know what I'm saying? You got females growing up with no father. Now the father might be around, even if they're around and they talk, that's a wonderful thing. At least the person not around at all. Um, um, they grow up a little bit stronger, with him, without him. And that's my opinion, but yeah. I said, no matter how much you try to run from it, it's impossible. Talk to somebody, get some help or something, Ain't nothing wrong with going to therapy, because I went to therapy, man. I can count on my hands, 10 hands. I couldn't stand it, but I went. But yeah, you got people that just waking up every single day wanting to harm their own family, man. Yeah, that's when it gets crazy. Like I said, as you get older, those things that you experience can flash back on certain people, and the trauma can come out in the form of anger, and you lashing out. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of single women and single men that deal with a lot, and they keep doing it, and then sometimes it makes a person just pop like, yo, they start tripping because things done build it up, especially nowadays. Harsh environment can create a person fully out of control. It's like them racist people and racist folks. You can create a racist individual no matter what complexion. I'm gonna tell you like that. And I'm saying that for a reason. If you constantly keep bombarding an individual, child, or whatever it is, well, don't deal with these kind of people because they such and such, blah, blah, blah. Now, I'm speaking from an individual, not from a mass point, because you're dealing with racism in large amount of groups, that's full racism. And they doing things in masses to people, certain kinds of people, that's a problem. You don't want to be a part of that. But if somebody's telling you to watch out for certain kind of people, it's for that reason, especially if they're moving in groups. But if you just raise an individual to hate a person for the smallest amount of shit that is not really harming you, you can raise those type of individuals like that mass shooter that was doing things to people in church. And you like what? And the individual was like probably under 18. Yeah, he was indoctrinated. But even if you gotta find something to keep yourself busy, if you can't get over certain things, or it's always good to stay busy no matter what, because and you dealing with these type of things, and you not finding things sometimes to avoid it, that pressure of thinking, you're gonna do something reckless. Like I said in my video the other day, apologize to people. You never know, like I said, what people are dealing with. Apologize. Do something to try to make it right. If you can't, It's going to keep building up. And keep praying. Believe in the Most High. Believe in Christ. Trust me. You get through that. There's one definitely shield. That is mandatory. Peace out.